Hello everyone, my name is Valens and this is Hoca Talk, a weekly podcast series on both YouTube and Spotify. I wanted to start off today by saying I am full up with a cold in a minute, so if I sound a bit different from normal, that's why, but I didn't want even having this cold to stop me from making another episode today. First of all, before we get into what I'm talking about today, thank you to everyone who showed some love on last week's episode, which was about racism. A link will be in the description below. I felt as if it was a episode I had to make and had to talk about, especially now, so thank you for the love shown on that again, and the link, as I said, will be in the description below if you missed it. And to make sure you don't miss any further episodes of Hoca Talk, including this one, make sure you hit that bell on the video on YouTube, and you'll always get a notification then when I upload another episode of Hoca Talk if it doesn't appear in your sub box. And some people have come back to me and told me that it hasn't, so that's a good way to make sure you never miss out. So, all things games. I wanted to obviously say, first of all, thank you to my brother for giving me an idea like this to talk about today, because I wasn't really sure what to talk about. It's another episode just like last week where I'm about myself, but that's okay. So thank you for him for telling me. He obviously came on a few weeks back and we talked about all things NBA, F1 and football. He might be coming back soon, but watch this space on that. So, my favourite games. I mean, I've got a PS4 at the minute. I had a PS3, I've had a PS2 and a PS1. I've got a PS5, but I'll get into why and so on a little bit later on in the episode. My favourite games at the minute, I play NBA, so 2K21, F1 2020, FIFA 21, and GTA 5 or GTA V, whatever you want to call it. I want to talk about Grand Theft Auto for a minute. So, obviously, it would be nice now, and I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say this, if GTA 6 was out, because it's been 8 years now since GTA 5 dropped. But on the flip side of that, Rockstar don't really need to go ahead and make GTA 6 today, if you think about it, because even though it's been 8 years, 2013 when it came out, and it's 2021 now, they're making about $500 million a year off of GTA Online. Now, if you're the company and you're making that much money, do you really then need to go and spend however much it costs to make a game? No, is the answer, isn't it? So, obviously, it would be nice if GTA 6 dropped and we get all new content and a new story mode to play as, because, you know, I've completed the GTA 5 story mode using Franklin, Michael, and Trevor countless amount of times now, and even though you can choose different endings for all the characters and so on, it is getting a bit boring and repetitive now. I know, obviously, there's online to play, but when you're playing by yourself, not that I do, it can get boring. The only good way to keep that fresh and that you enjoy yourself is when you play with other people. But yeah, they're making plenty of money off GTA 5 online, so there's no real need for them to make GTA 6. But hopefully they do in the foreseeable future. Obviously, GTA 5 now is on PS5 and Xbox One. I think that's the latest version of the Xbox. So you don't even have to buy it. You can just transfer it from the PS4 to the PS5, and you get what I mean from there. And get what I'm saying. Where I got that from, $500 million where they're making, what they're making even, is from a website called PC Game, and I will leave a link so you can have a read of the article in the description below if you'd like. It's what I do now. I always research what I want to talk about and just make some notes. So it's not exactly an unedited and unscripted podcast anymore, but we move. It's not the end of the world. So that's what I wanted to say about GTA. It is a fun game, but at the end of the day, it would be nice if GTA 6 came out sometime soon, because it's been 8 years now since GTA 5 dropped. But I mean, it's one of the best GTAs, I think. And there's nothing wrong with GTA 5, but the one you got to use Nico Bellic. I think that was GTA 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure someone will in the comment section below or whatever. Yeah, that was fun. That was a good story mode. That was a good storyline. You know what I mean. And other games, obviously, I play, like I said, FIFA 21, and I've always bought FIFA. It's just something I do. I guess you can call it a tradition. Like Christmas coming every year, as the tradition is that people celebrate. From FIFA 06 maybe? Shows how old I am. But I first started playing on the PS1, and people are a bit hit on the fence about FIFA 21, aren't they? And I just wanted to talk about what I think about FIFA 21 in terms of career mode, Ultimate Team. Now, obviously, what EA focus on the most is Ultimate Team, and rightly so, because it makes the money. And another source I found off a website called Engadget, and I'll leave a link to this in the description below too, was saying, I think a couple of days ago, it might have been earlier on in the year, that EA raked in over $3,000 a minute, or over £2,000 a minute from Ultimate Team alone. And they've made over $1 billion, or £700,000, off of Ultimate Team for the third year in a row. So you can see why they put all the effort into Ultimate Team. But I enjoy playing career mode, and I always like to do a career mode, with Cardiff, and a Road to Glory career mode, with Newport or a team in the third Bundesliga, and trying to take them right up to the Bundesliga and challenge Bayern Munich and Dortmund and so on. But career mode and all the other game modes really been overlooked, which is a shame. Why was I struggling to say shame? I don't know. But we move. I say that a lot. We move. But career mode's kind of been overlooked, but they did make some changes to it. So you can jump into a game now. Things aren't going your way. Let's say you're 1-0 down in the 80th minute, and you can just jump into the game and crack on from there and try and equalise or whatever, or win the game. So that's a nice touch, but I think they can always take a step further, and I hope that they do. Whether they'll do it for FIFA 22 or not, I don't know, but it'll be nice if more effort was put into all the game modes, not just Ultimate Team, but obviously career mode, pro clubs and so on don't make the company money, and when they're making over $3,000 a minute, they're not going to look elsewhere from Ultimate Team. But I think everyone would agree with me on that. More love needs to be shown to other game modes on the game. I recently got into playing NBA as well. Obviously, I recently got into watching NBA too. I think the first NBA game I bought was for like £1 or £2 from CEX, NBA 2K17, and I then decided to go and pick up 20 and 21. And I do like, starting your career on NBA, and I'm obviously jumped to NBA now, when you're in college and working your way right up to the NBA, and I'm in the middle of doing a career on there now with the Phoenix Suns. I'm in the NBA already. It's like the story kind of finishes as soon as you make the NBA, and that's it then. You're just playing the games all the time. You go to the gym like once a week to get your stats up and so on that you can do on 2K21. But I was like, I wish that was continue on into your career, not just finish when you make the NBA. And like, that's it now, you've done it. But I really need to fix the nicknames that you get given. I think 2K17 was it Shea, and 2K21 is Junior. They always tend to be the same. But I mean, that's just a little slight criticism from me. I do enjoy playing. I'm glad that they got like the updated kits on there. The jerseys, even not kits. I guess you can say kits from all the teams, and I've got a few myself now in the wardrobe behind me where I'm sat, and they're in the game, which is nice. And I think they do a much better job at like all the cutscenes and so on than EA do. Obviously, it's a different company that makes 2K, but if that could be what FIFA do and EA do, that would be really nice touch to career mode, just like PES do. You can start a career mode as Maradona and go from there and so on. I think it's called Master League, their version, but I'm not talking about PES today because I very rarely have played PES before. But that's what I think about 2K21. I think I'll definitely pick up 2K22. I haven't read about what they're doing with that yet, but again, it's nice that you can buy 2K21 and then transfer it onto the PS5 from the PS4. So that's a nice touch. But I think all games are doing that now, aren't they? Now that the PS5 is out, and I've already said it, but I will talk more about the PS5. I believe I have anyway later on in the podcast. F1 2020. One I wanted to talk about now. It's going to be developed by EA for the first time since 2003 when they dropped F1 Challenge 9902, F1 Korea Challenge. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it will still obviously be published by developed by Codemasters as always, but it'll be the first time since 2003 that the game will be published by EA. I think they bought out Codemasters, correct me if I'm wrong. And the game, if you haven't obviously read up on it, I'll give you a little bit of a plot to it. We'll introduce a story mode called Breaking Point, and we'll feature the returning and everyone's favourite fictional driver, Devin Butler. And according to a statement by Codemasters, Breaking Point immerses players into the glamorous world of Formula One, giving a taste of the lifestyle both on and off the track, the rivalries, emotion and dedication needed to compete at the highest level. And for the first time in career mode, it is now possible for two players to play career mode together, either as teammates or rivals. And obviously the game is based on the 2021 Formula One season that's in progress at the minute, so you'll be able to drivers, rookies such as Mick Schumacher, who drives at Haas, and Mazepin, the less said about him the better, but he's also at Haas, and Yuki Tsunoda, and obviously Alpine and Aston Martin will both be on the game too, and I'm looking forward to doing a career mode of Aston Martin, kicking Stroll out of the door, because Lance, if you're listening, you're probably not, I've said that before, but I'd love to drive with Vettel. He's my favourite driver in Formula One and has been for quite some time now, both replacing Renault and Racing Point respectively. So I'm looking forward to seeing what EA do with that, and that's dropping on July the 16th this year, a week or so after my birthday, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, it's going to be published by EA, which is interesting. What they've done with 2020, I think, was a big plus for everyone, was the inclusion of My Team. So you can make your own team and go and have yourself and another driver on the grid, and like a ranks to riches story, and see how far you can get. But I don't know, I still enjoy playing the driver career and just signing up for a team, racing every weekend and just going from there. But My Team, I still see a lot of YouTubers that primarily just make F1 content, still making episodes of F1 2020 career mode, so you could tell it's gone down well. But hopefully now it doesn't get ruined by the fact that EA are going to be publishing the game, but who knows. I don't even know if they're going to be having anything to do with it, because Codemasters are developing it, but I'm none the wiser, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens July the 16th, later on in the year. I say later on, next month now, because we're in June. The first episode of the Hoca Talk podcast in June, I know. Can't believe it, but here we are. One of my favourite games of all time, and I'm sticking to F1. It was on the PS, I think it was the PS2 or PS3, was F1 Championship Edition, which came out in 2006, I think. And the main reason why I enjoy that game so much, and I don't understand and don't get why they mean the same things, but you know what I mean, it's not in F1 games now, is commentary. You had commentary from, I think it was Martin Brundle, and it's not David Croft or Murray Walker, who recently passed away, I think earlier on in this year, so rest in peace to him. One of the best commentators Formula 1 will ever have, and he's a national treasure, an icon, a legend. Not enough words to describe the man. But commentary, I mean, I'd love for it to come out again on like the PS4, whatever, just like rebranded and brought out again, because that's what they've done with another game I'm going to be talking about very shortly, and when I have had to talk, I want to talk about my favourite games. But I really enjoyed the F1 Championship Edition game, which came out, I'm guessing, in 2006, because it was based on that season. So I think I'll have to maybe try and find my PS2 or PS3 or whatever it was on, and load it up and play that for a bit, because it's just good fun, and it just brings back memories, it does. And I think that's the beautiful thing about having a favourite game that you like. It brings back memories, and I just like to relive those memories now. And even if I'm turning 21 this year, it is what it is. I still like to relive that childhood, and I think there's a child in all of us, no matter how old we are. But that game that I was talking about just then is Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs, I guess you could say, is similar to GTA. To cut a long story short, I won't spoil it if you want to play it, but Sleeping Dogs was an action-adventure video game developed by United Front Games and published by Square Enix's European subsidiary, which is a mouthful, I know. It was originally released for the PS3, Xbox 360 and Windows in 2012. Not that matters, but there's some bonus information for you if you wanted it. This is what matters now, what I wanted to talk about. It's set in contemporary Hong Kong, or Taoyuan even. The story follows Wei Shen, who is an undercover Chinese-American police officer who's on assignment to infiltrate the Sun On Yi Triad organization. And I just love this game. And I was getting really hyped up because in 2013, a year after the game dropped, there was plans for Sleeping Dogs 2 to come out. And unfortunately, those plans were scrapped before the project went into production, which is a shame, because I was looking forward to seeing what they were going to do with it. It was just a different kind of energy and so on from GTA in general, not just 5. So yeah, because obviously they came out at a roughly similar time, didn't they? But yeah. It's a shame that that's not happening, at least as far as I know. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to find out and hear from someone who actually knows what they're talking about, why Sleeping Dogs 2 was basically scrapped and is not going to happen, for now at least. There's a video that will explain it much better than I can in the description below. It's going to be a pretty packed description today, but it is what it is, and we move. Yeah, unfortunately the game was scrapped in late 2013 before the project went into production. Who knows why. I should have probably watched that video and then would have been able to explain it, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, really good game, and it's just unfortunate, really, it's not going anywhere, for now at least. So in November last year, the PS5 dropped. It was available on the 12th of November in the US, Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand and South Korea, and for the UK included in the rest of the world on the 19th. And I don't have a PS5 in a minute, which I've already touched on. What I wanted to talk about during this podcast was, are PS5s worth it? Now, I don't know. Looking at the price, and we're in June now, and I do understand why they're still this price, but they're between, I think, about £350 and £540. Well, I don't think. I literally looked how much they were. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick with the PS4 for now. I know people do have it, and they've said this and that about it, but the PS4 for me is doing a good enough job, and is doing what I want it to do. And they're still making games and dropping games on the PS4 and Xbox 360 and whatever. Or is it called the Xbox One? I didn't even know. I mean, I don't have an Xbox and never had one, and I'm probably going to stay loyal to Sony for the foreseeable future, unless I change. But on the topic of that, I'll change. Why I might be changing in the future, I'll get onto later. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what other people think. Is £350 between that and £540 worth it for a PS5? I don't know. I'd be interested to hear if you do have one. Do you think it's better? I obviously will be, but what are your thoughts on it? And are you glad that you got it rather than sticking like I am with the PS4? So I'd be interested to hear what you think about that. I might get one in the future, but we'll see. Because now I'm going to talk about why I'm saying we'll see. Because I wish SES Software, the company that made Eurotrack Simulator and Eurotrack Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator, amongst other games, was on the console, because it's a really relaxing game to play, unlike FIFA, where the objective if you're playing Ultimate Team is to win, isn't it? And then you get rewarded from the game. Or F1, where you want to try to finish as high as you can. It's a relaxing game. You have to literally just drive from point A to point B in a certain amount of time. You're not stressing, if I lose this, I'm going to drop down a division or whatever, or if I lose this, the team might fire me, and, if we're talking about F1. So, it's a shame that it's not on a console yet. Will it be? I don't know. I think there's rumours that it might be coming out on console sometime soon, but rumours are just rumours, unless the company actually comes out and says they're going to be dropping on a console. I don't know what to believe, but for now it's only available on the PC, so I really want to... I'm even considering about perhaps getting a PC sometime soon, just to be able to play Eurotrack, I guess, because you can go literally anywhere now. Because Eurotrack's one of those games before you had to have mods to keep it fresh, because it'd be boring just playing a base game. But now you can go to, I think, Russia, you can go to Turkey, so that's how you keep it fresh, rather than just playing a base game. So yeah, hopefully. Oh, I say hopefully. You never know, but they drop it on the console sometime soon. The closest thing at the moment to Eurotrack Simulator 2, or just any truck game on the console in general, is Truck Driver, which came out, I think it was last year maybe, and it's made by a company called Sedesco, SES Software. Bit of a fun facty if you wanted to know. They're a Czech company, I believe. It was made by Sedesco, Truck Driver, but I don't know. The reviews are a bit hit and miss from what I've read online. It's been given a 3.5 out of 5 rating. I can't remember what website gave it that, but... yeah, bit of hit and miss. There's still bugs and glitches within the game, and I've been watching, I think, is it Game Tech UK, the channel's called, on YouTube, and yeah, he's still on the fence about it, and if a guy who they tell to test the game out and so on is a bit on the fence about it, as someone who they doesn't get approached to test the game. You're like, should I really invest in the game? And it's only like £19, but even then, I don't know. It's not like Eurotrack in that you have a job and you get your own truck in the end. It's like your own trucking empire, as it were. You just do missions for people, and I don't know. It's just a bit, like I said, hit and miss, and especially from what the reviews are saying. But who knows? Sometimes in the foreseeable future, SCS might drop it on at the console. But for now, it is only on PC. It is cheap though. I mean, it's been out for several years now. I think Eurotrack has. So if you wanted to pick it up on Steam, then by all means, I don't think it's going to cost you that much. It might do if you want to install all the add-ons and so on. So if you want to go to Turkey and so on, I think it's to the Baltic Sea. The DLC is called. I say add-ons. I could have just said DLCs, but you know what I mean. So obviously, I think that's going to be a little bit more than the game costs. But to keep things fresh, I would definitely recommend getting the DLCs. And they don't pay me to say that, but I'm just talking from experience. It can get boring just playing the base game and go to the same places all the time. But I always remember playing that before, and it's just on a laptop, and it was really laggy, which I didn't really get the full and proper experience from it. Going to places in Wales, and I had I think Pro Mods loaded, so you had Cardiff, but underneath you'd have Cardiff in Welsh, and that was just a nice touch to see they put the effort in like that. That's just something else I wanted to say about Eurotrack. But for now, obviously, the closest thing we've got at the minute is Truck Driver. I think they're dropping one, something to do about trucking in Alaska. I don't know if it's out now or if it'll be coming out sometime soon. Is it called On the Road? I don't know. But again, will that be one that's going to be as good as Eurotrack? Because I think they definitely set the bar high they have. And, they've even got American Truck now as well, so you can go trucking in North America. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's DLCs that are made by other people, so you can go to Brazil and whatever. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, we're stuck with Truck Driver at the minute. But who knows? Watch this space. It might be coming out on the console sometime soon. So hopefully it does. And I'll have to get a game PC that way, but I think I might do anyway. So that's why I'm on the fence a minute. I'll be saying that a lot, I know, this episode, about, investing and getting the PS5. So I'm happy with the PS4 at the minute. It does the job, and I'm just content with it, really. I have no reason, really, to get a PS5 at the minute. One thing I think is a must for FIFA 22, and I don't know if they're doing this yet, I haven't heard anything, but to have the National League in the game would be a really nice touch. So I was just thinking about it. I could do a Road to Glory from the 5th tier in English football to take a team like Wrexham or Yeovil or whatever, probably Wrexham because they're a Welsh team, and they're owned by Deadpool. I say Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, he played Deadpool, you know what I mean now. To take them from the National League right up to the Premier League will be a nice touch, and I know will be nice to see. And there's been what's the word I'm looking? What's it called? Petitions, yeah, petitions. That's the word. Of people asking for the National League to be on the game, but I don't think it's going to be, not at least on FIFA 22. Who knows though? Again, it's just speculation, isn't it? Whether it'll be, if not FIFA 22, FIFA 23. But I mean, the less said about FIFA, I guess, the better. I mean, I haven't played Ultimate Team now for a while because I don't know. I just felt out of love with it. I mean, I had insane players, but I don't know. I just stopped playing it, really, and now I just play FIFA to go on pro clubs, and that's fun. And I just play games. I play NBA, I play GTA. See, I don't know. I think FIFA 21 was a make or break game for FIFA. And I say that and I criticise it, but the same happens every year. I know a lot of other people who do the same thing will continue to buy it. And I think the issue with Ultimate Team is that the reason EA rakes in, like I was talking about earlier, the $3,000 a minute and so on, and over $1 billion a year, is because a lot of that is by people who play the game casually. If this is controversial, it is what it is. As I'm sure you'll know from last week, I don't really care. Life's too short for that. It's the casual players, just buying packs for the sake of it, and if EA see that, they're going to say, well, let's just keep dropping these rubbish SBCs on because people will continue to do them and just give us free money, basically. And I don't know. I think if the casual players just didn't do that and people take a stance, then I don't know if EA would even care or listen. But yeah, I mean, you think that all that money they make, the fact that they made over $1 billion from Ultimate Team with a third year in a row, or third fiscal year, I think was the correct terminology if you want me to use that. Just for the casual players, isn't it? Just buying packs for the sake of it and wasting however much money just for the sake of it, wasting it for content to put up on YouTube. And I know YouTubers do that, but yeah, easy views, isn't it, really, when you're doing a pack opening? But I'm not going to be talking about that, not today at least, anyway. But yeah, hopes and dreams, I guess, as I've already said. Hopefully GTA 6 comes out sometime soon. Will it, though? I can't see, enough for now, at least. Because we've already established, they're making plenty of money off of GTA 5, so there's no need to drop GTA 6 or GTA 5 online, that is. Hopefully SES drop Eurotrack or something by another company that can match Eurotrack on the same level, because I don't think Truck Driver has hit those heights yet. I say yet because you don't know. Hopefully Sleeping Dogs 2 comes out. That'd be really nice to see what they do with that. I don't want to spoil it too much, but characters basically died in there, and left me speechless, really, especially one of them who was Wade's best friend. I think there's a lot of potential there with that, but I fear that the company that made it or whatever have been bought out by another company. I don't know. I should have really read into it, but we move. Looking forward to seeing what EA do. Obviously, they're going to be publishing F1 2021 and the reintroduction of Devin Butler coming again, so we'll see what they do with that. And obviously, you can use legends and icons that you can, well, I say use them, you can. You can also have them driving alongside you, I think, in my team, which I think is staying in F1 2021. Alongside you see, Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher, some of the best drivers who have graced the sport, so that's exciting. I look forward to seeing what they do with 2K22. I think that's what's coming out this year. FIFA 22 as well. I would love it if the National League was in the game, but I can't see it, not at least for this game cycle coming out. I believe in September or October, that's when the game normally drops. When I say all things game as well, all things games, I should be able to say that. What I also enjoyed doing when I sat at the table, and this is going away from having a controller in your hands, sitting in front of a screen, just playing games at a table like I Spy and so on. It's just nice to relive those memories and play games like that, board games and so on, Scrabble. Obviously not the same experiences as playing a game of FIFA, but and I'm sure now I'm talking about it, people will be reminiscing about when they used to play games like that or still do. So all things games is a broad subject. I know, it was a broad subject to talk about all things NBA, F1 and football, but just nice really to make an episode like this, something light-hearted and something that, it's just nice to talk about and listen to. For the viewers, I hope anyway, rather than what it was like last week talking about racism, which was obviously a bit of a controversial and touchy subject, but is one I wanted to talk about, as I've already said. Anyway, things to look forward to. I should be doing a Euro 2021 special coming up either next week or the week after with my brother, who'll be coming back on. We were talking about it today when we were out, and he's going to be coming on to do that with me. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Euros, which I believe starts on June 11th on a Friday night with, correct me if I'm wrong, Turkey playing Italy, which should be interesting, and Wales and Turkey are in the same group, so that's going to be exciting to see what happens there. I'll obviously be cheering on Wales, of course I will be. So we'll be talking about who we think is going to win that, the group of death, talking about Germany, Portugal, Hungary and France. I think that's the group anyway. And so get out of that, because obviously only 2 teams can, and I think it is a group of death. I'm sure people would be able to agree with me. What players we're looking forward to, or will agree with me even. If you don't, then fair enough, it's up to you. What players we think, as I was saying just then, before I spoke over myself, we're looking forward to watching who is going to shine in the tournament. So that'll be a fun one to make, and I'm always love to have family members on here, especially my brother as well, and I think he definitely enjoyed being on here for the All Things NBA F1 and Football podcast. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the podcast episode now. Thank you everyone who was listening to it, clicked on the video. And thank you for still being here if you still are. Apologies again about how I sound, if I sound different from like I normally do. Full up with a cold in a minute, but that was never going to stop me from making sure that you start your June off right by listening to an episode of the Hoca Talk podcast. So yeah, again, thank you to my brother who gave me an idea to talk about this today. I wasn't really sure what to talk about. Yeah, if you want to come on and talk about something yourself, by all means let me know in the comment section below. You can message me on Messenger, on Instagram, Snapchat, if you've got me on Snapchat. If not, and you want me to just talk about something myself, then by all means you can do that too if you don't want to come on. I'm hoping to get my two best mates, Owen and Lewis, on, and my other best friend, Imi, sometime as well, who I've always talked about on the podcast before, giving him more than enough shout-outs, but that's fine, it is what it is, and I don't think she'll mind anyway. So yeah, a lot of exciting things to come and things to look forward to. That obviously I just said, and the Euro 2020 special, which should be coming out sometime next week, because obviously I make a weekly episode of this. For now anyway, I'm hoping to also start up a Instagram account and a Facebook page, rather than just sharing it on my own accounts. I just think that'd be a better idea than just doing that. So watch this space. Maybe by the time you're listening, there are already two accounts on Facebook and Instagram respectively set up. But I'm going to wrap this up now. This has been Hoca Talk. My name has been Balent, or it is Balent even, you know what I mean. It's still unedited in that part. I'm not going to cut out when I make a mistake, because why should I? Why will I? Yeah, take care of yourselves. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here if you're still here. Make sure to click the bell on the videos to make sure you don't, to ensure even you don't miss any further episodes, including this one of Hoca Talk, if it doesn't appear in your sub box. I will be back sometime next week with a guest or without a guest. We'll see. Like I said, sometimes it is difficult to work around people's schedules and my own schedule because I work, but watch this space. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and I will see you very soon.